Welcome to the Trails Committee meeting on October 7th. I'm calling the meeting to order at 7:45. Let's do roll call. Let me know that you're here when I call your name. Tom McCoolier,
Here.
Satyendra Sharma,
Yeah,
and Kat McKee here. Okay, so this meeting is going to be probably a little short, but I have some new updates and just a few things to chat about for signage and some progress we've made. So I'll start by saying that we don't have minutes from last time. They haven't uploaded the video yet, so we don't have that. Sati wasn't here, so I'll draft those for next time. And all of the minutes have been updated since we last met last week, so we're current. Regarding the historical connections, I've not heard from the tribal council yet. I did hear back from Michael Weishen. He shared some information that's really helpful, and so we'll be able to incorporate some of that with his permission. And I'll show that in just a moment. And then I reached out to Andy Leahy, the DCR ranger who we've had lead history hikes, and apparently DCR has a Indigenous Peoples Partnership Coordinator. So I've been in touch with her and we'll be meeting with her tomorrow to talk about any resources, historical information they might have on Native peoples that we can include in our information. And recognizing off the top that I've been calling it Native American information, and that might be a misnomer because America technically wasn't America before. So I saw that Michael was referring to it as Native peoples. So it might be a sensitivity point that we need to be aware of.
Good point.
They were here first, it wasn't America, then it was America, and then they became Native American. So it's kind of like we named them when they were not named. It's not necessarily they weren't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah. So so we'll see what comes from that. So let me share what we have from Michael. All right, so you have to give me just a second because I only have 15 different PDFs open at one time. Oh, I don't know why it went away.
so the Nipmuc Council is still on cards meeting
Right,
with.
no word from them yet. But that I've heard it's not uncommon.
They probably only meet once a month or whatever to discuss tribal.
Oh, they meet on even months, which this
Oh.
is an even month, and so they meet on Saturdays, but I don't know. I copied everybody, all the council individual emails that I could find and the overall council. So
And what did Michael Weishen say?
I'm gonna share right now. It's just coming up. It's like it's a PDF that's slow to populate, so you're only gonna see a couple images until it's fully populated. Are you seeing it come up on the screen now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is their document. Okay.
This is Michael's document.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one he shared with me, and let me just see if it's cool.
Oh, this is pretty good.
Oh, it's wonderful. So you can't really read it.
No, but you can send it to us so we can blow it up.
Yeah, actually, let me just do that now. All right, I don't want to share. Hold on. Let me just,
No, this is really good.
yeah. All right, so this is TC. I'm just going to put copyright don't use as is in the subject line so that we recognize that someone else produced it. We're not going to try to reproduce, we're not going to claim it. So anyway, they talk about a little bit about the history, about how the natives came to be in this area here, a little bit about their tools they used, this nice map that shows where Nipmucs were in the center here. So they were and it seems to be Nipmuc Central, like it's not other tribes that they're referring to. Even though there were other tribes in Massachusetts, the Nipmuc seems to be what people are focused on. This is a relatively sad piece because it talks, and I guess the history is a bit sad, talks about how when the settlers came in, they, wanted to make everyone Christians. So they created praying towns, and those were Native Americans or Indians who were converting to Christianity. And then, a lot of Native Americans, as we know through our own learnings, died from diseases that white settlers brought in. And then the king, was it the war?
King Philip's War.
Yeah, thank you. King Philip's War came, and then the rest of it sounds like they put him on an island and let some people died of starvation and exposure. So I'll let you guys read through this. It's good information. It makes me think about a couple things. Like, and we talked a little bit about this in our last meeting, but as we kind of think about all the information that's out there, that exists out there versus what we're trying to accomplish, and not recreate the wheel. We're not going to suddenly become the historical commission. We are the Trails Committee who's working on a project with history involved. How we are going to pull in pieces together, what will our web page look like? And we were initially talking about referring, linking to external websites, and I was looking at best practices for interpretive signs, and they caution you against doing that because you can't control those other web pages. So when they go away,
Oh, good point. Good
your
point.
sign is now
Yeah.
obsolete. So if we can host a page on our Trails Committee site that we know will stay there, and that can have the external links. So that can kind of be a central point. But
you can always give a reference or thank them or acknowledge them. That's it. I mean,
oh, yes, we certainly would acknowledge them, but I think putting it on, like having those links from their sites to ours would be the way to kind of centralize that and keep it, as fresh as you can. But with something like this piece, I've got to talk to Michael about what we can use and how we can use it. We're not going to be recreating a lot of this and creating our own narrative. We're not
No,
documenting history again.
yeah.
So
correct.
how do we bring it all together? What does it look like? And that kind of thing is what I'm referring to. Like, what does the back end look like? Because we know our signage has to have small, it's gonna have a little blurb here, a little blurb there, and then it's gonna go right into QR code link here for more information. And I'm kind of thinking broader picture. How do we organize it all? And what do we want to include? Like the narrative, what are we trying to accomplish? Essentially, we want to share some history about Southborough. We want to create a history kind of, not just a history walk, but like the walk is going to include lots of different signage. So we're informing, we're educating people. What do you guys want to accomplish out of this?
I want you to, well, my 2 cents is send the documents that you got from Michael. And I think we should go through it and pick out ones that you think should be on our signs and stuff. Because this is a lot of material. We can't put everything there. I mean, I wish we could, but we can't because it's just
And
too.
that's a very good point. Yeah.
And I'm not sure any of this other than some,
Right. It could be done. I says I don't like any of it, but
well, no,
I
no, no.
think,
It's not a like thing, but it's more of like what is it that we're saying on the sign? Because we had some
right.
good
That's what I
language
meant.
last
More
time,
like
right?
what we like to put on our signs. But
Right.
it'd be nice to, I mean, I can't read this stuff. It's very small for me.
Yeah,
But
I
the
sent it to you. You should have it in an email now.
Okay.
one important thing that can be summarized. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love all this information. I think it's great information. I would definitely read all this stuff if I was hiking down this trail.
But
But
maybe we refer to it and it's not
we
something,
do.
this is one
But
of the pieces, maybe.
right. Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah. And that we talk a little bit, because remember when we were brainstorming, we had a little paragraph.
Right. We just had a
Something-
paragraph, but this is a lot more. I'd rather reference some of his material, like I said, if we
Uh-huh.
can.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, don't reinvent history. It's there already.
Yeah.
And
So like if this UMass link, for example, it links to Nipmuc Nation, Nipmuc history, we can include this on that webpage too. So it will just be kind of a collection of resources, maybe organized in a fashion that makes sense. Not recreating a wheel, not becoming a graphic designer, that kind of thing. And then, so yeah, so I think we'll talk to Michael about what we can do with this piece, based on what he
Yep.
shared, and go from there. I did come up with, so we talked a little bit about a timeline, because I think it's an interesting concept to think about. Hold on, where did I put it? That's another thing, is having 5,000 draft documents is becoming tricky to remember where I'm located. Okay, yeah. So are you guys seeing this screen now? Southborough Reservoir timeline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so something, and think graphically, like our sign for purposes of keeping our minds like what they're going to look like is something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, without the boats. But and that's a little, all right, this is a little short, but you get what I'm saying. It's a lot, it's a wide panel, couple panels. And so the timeline, I think, would be an interesting way to represent a lot of information in a short graphic. So, we have before 1600s, the Nipmucs, and then we have 1630s to 70s is the colonial settlement. 1727, that's when Southborough was established. Then we have the building of the dam. These details, not so much. It's more like, where are we in history? You know what I mean? Actually, this is not the timeline I was looking for. It's this one. Yeah, I think so. No, those
The same one?
no, it looks like the same one, but it's not. Yeah, but you get the sense of what I'm trying to.
Yep. Yep. So talk about some defined years.
Yeah. And you kind of get a sense, so you're giving the overall picture. Here's a timeline. And remember, this slide is about people, right? And so we're going to talk about Native Americans, then we talk a little bit about the settlers. So I did some research on if I could find anything about the eminent domain, about what it was like, any human stories. I didn't get a lot, but I did get the process of eminent domain, how that works, kind of drafted and detailed. So, that section might be short as far as like what it looks like, or we can talk to more historians in Southborough and kind of understand what that process was like. Because what I was really hoping for is, with our people focused sign, is that, to understand what it was like for one family to, what was it like? You got the notice, and we might not know any of this, but they had to relocate. Where did they go? Were they happy or sad? Do we have any kind of human interest? Like, is there any information we can get about what that process would have been like? I live in this community and now I don't, we can talk a little bit about how, the water board, they talked about the process by which the water board goes to make these decisions. Legislation is involved, and then they decide to, what was it, some 10% of Southborough is flooded for this purpose, you know um and then we talk about the people who built the dam. But I don't know that this is where we need to make some decisions, because we were going to have one sign dedicated to the building of the dam. So maybe the people of building of the dam goes to that sign
Mhm.
versus this people's sign. And this people's sign just is focused on the natives who lived here originally and the settlers who were displaced. And that's enough information for one sign, right?
Yeah. And then the dam is the people that built the dams, the technology.
And the engineering.
Yes. Yep.
Because I think honoring the people who built the dam You know, we always talk about the masterminds behind the engineering and this, that, and the other, but so many people broke their backs as the daily living to build the dam. They used horses and carriages to build things, you know, and that's pretty amazing. And so they talk about the various groups like the Italian immigrants. There was African Americans. There's I think some Canadians also in that group, and they lived in encampments around the reservoir when they were building it. So those kinds of things we can talk a little bit about on, I guess, like you said, we can do that on the other side. But it is two different stories because it's the people and then the building of the dam. So I'm not quite sure how that gels or how we'll represent that. But yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah,
There is I found a map that I can send, and it says like timeline through the trails.
do you
So
want to
you
send it?
can,
You want to email it?
I can email it, but there's no chat, right? So you cannot share anything.
Is it in Chat GPT?
No, no, no. It
No, you can't
is
use chat and
chat.
Zoom.
Yeah,
You can't use that feature chat.
Oh, within our Zoom, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
if you email it, you can do that
I
if
can
you
email it.
want. So okay, so that's that piece. And again, we'll have a little bit more to go on when we talk to DCR tomorrow and figure out what they might have for resources. And I'm
But
just
he had that nice folder too, Andy. For a lot of
Yep,
stuff in it.
yeah. And you may remember we put together a binder and I was going to ask, I did ask Andy, I reached out, he was part of that group and that's why they directed me to to the other people, but because he had some good images. And you may remember we put together a booklet. Are you seeing a black
Yep.
and white picture now? So we put together this, we pulled out all these images from the Massachusetts Digital Archives. So I'm just going to slowly scroll so you can get a sense of what we have. So we definitely have some good old images that we can use of the building of the dam. We'll just have to pick the ones that we think are the most representative or the, most interesting or whatever. And yeah.
Look at the spillway. Jeez.
Well, what's interesting about this is that there's two people there. I think that's people. Yeah, two
Oh,
people
yeah.
are right here. Right? So this almost looks like a fake photo. But I think from another angle, what I saw was this water goes into this little area and then it circles around. So it actually isn't meant to go all the way straight. But do you see what I'm saying? How this looks weird?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
It does. And it looks like it's just going away to nothing.
yeah,
Because that seems
like
like a lot
how
of
are these
water.
people here? But yeah, so this was like, this is the stripping of section A. What is section A, you say? Well, I happen to have section A because Andy had this handy dandy, I'm showing you now, this handy map, right? So this is the reservoir trail here. Like this is the peninsula
Oh, yeah. Section A. There it is.
and section A is here, right? So this is kind of cool because you see this dotted line up here? This might have been East Main because I have another documentation that says East Main went through section M and N. So
Really?
I think, and I'll show you what the image looks like. I think that's the East Main.
Oh, I would say where the small Southborough is, I would guess that is it.
Where's Small South? What do you mean Small
You
South?
see the big word Southborough where you are,
Yeah.
go down and to the left, stop moving so much, go up a
Oh,
little bit,
here.
right there. Now go directly
Oh, I
right,
guess you're right. That's way too north. You're right.
because look at where Framingham is and the dam. No, I think it's up
Oh,
higher.
it would be here.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would
it
venture because
is.
then you have a road on the other side.
You're right. It is there. And the reason is, hold on, I've got this.
That's just a guess
You're right, because
because you get the railroad tracks. That's why I'm basing it off of too.
oh, here.
So
Okay. Yeah, so this is bostonrambles.net. So there's an article written about lost roads. Here it is right here.
yeah,
And
there she goes.
it goes all the way over to Clemens.
Yep.
Yep. So we can, with permission, use something like this on our little post or something, the little East Main was here type thing.
Oh, look at my streets there.
Where's your street? Is that
Overlook. Go up to the left, right there.
Overlook?
I wonder what year this thing was created.
Yeah. I don't think
Oh,
this
and
is old.
it's
This isn't-
recent. Look at you have
Yeah.
Calandra Field Airport.
Yeah. This is not an old photo.
No, it's not. Never
They
mind.
were just talking about it.
I know where that sign is.
Yeah.
It's right
You
on the
do?
top of my street. Yeah, it's right on top of
Yeah.
my street.
That's kind of cool. So yeah, they give a little history. So this was kind of interesting, I thought. That might help, provide us some more information.
That is a good one for that other signage. Exactly.
Yeah. And again, we're not going to go into great detail, but just saying, hey, it was here. Sati and I cannot find any information on the schoolhouse.
Oh, that Andy
Foundation.
mentioned.
Yeah, so I will reach out to Andy and see if he has any more
Just the
information.
name of it, I guess. Just the name of what it was.
We couldn't. We got stuck on the flag school, which we remember we used to. Well, were you in the committee when we used to meet in the little historical society?
Yeah, that was
Dominion?
right before COVID. I think I started
Yeah.
right before COVID.
Yeah, and so we used to meet in that. I miss that place, but I don't miss the logistics because I had the alarm go off more than once, I think, and I had to call the police because of it, because I'm sitting there with the alarm on. Anyway, so this is an interesting, old map,
Yeah.
but I like it because it references when these old images here, and this one, they reference the section we can go back and see. But this is where it used to be. This all is where the reservoir is now. And look at the size of the pipes compared to the people. I mean, they did this with horses. How did they do this? Right? Building this in 1895. It's just incredible. Here's a good image of some people. So anyway, and look at this, like, yeah, it's just incredible. And you may recall, see the horses in what they're doing here. So you remember last meeting we met and Will mentioned that, and it was just an interesting factoid that they learned when they were creating reservoirs that they needed to scrape the organic matter off of the
Mhm.
floor of the reservoir. I did confirm through some historical images and dates that Framingham was built first. So that story relates to Framingham, and then they got wiser by the time they came to us. By that time they were building it here. But yeah, I think these images are really just cool. And I think they're in good enough shape. This is the current gatehouse now. They're in good enough shape that they would go on a sign, I think, as long as you're not exposing them too big, making them too big. This is inside that little gatehouse, is my understanding.
That's cool.
And the swimming pool, right? So what is this in Fayetteville? Like where do you think this is? Because I've heard reference.
Bayville is
Swimming.
where the post office is on Route 9 across from Walgreen. That's the Fayetteville post.
Yeah, I live in Fayetteville.
Yeah, Sati lives there, and I think it goes all the way to Route 30, maybe.
Yeah,
What does?
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Oh, I'm in Fayetteville, but I'm saying, where's the swimming pool?
Are you in Fayetteville?
Yes.
Huh.
Yep.
Remember according to Andy, if you're going down Central Street at the set of lights,
Yeah, it's right
it was
there.
on your right-hand side.
Yeah.
But this picture doesn't show any of that. I mean, it's
Right.
all overgrown and stuff now.
Yeah.
But Andy did mention that, and you
Yeah.
know where that is.
Yeah, this is on Route 495 is back here. This is off of Ward Road. Right? Isn't
No,
this the
I think that's in the
bridge?
Bales Preserve.
You think?
Yep.
You
Bomb
think
Bridge.
this is the Beal? Oh, that would make sense.
Yep. We
Farm.
don't, yeah, off of Ward Road, you have nothing that looks like that.
Yes, you do. You have
A
that
bridge
little
way by the building. Yes, you're right.
No. When you come off of Ward Road, that little road that goes over a bridge,
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
arch. It's an arch bridge similar to
Yeah.
this, which we could put a little sign out there.
Is that document shareable?
This one, yeah.
So
I can
yeah,
share, I can send it to you. We
yeah,
have, huh?
I have a neighbor,
Oh, that'd be,
Jim,
oh,
Jim, yeah, Jim, he knows, Jim Collier, he knows many of these things.
uh-huh. Was he the old building manager or something? You
No,
know?
he was a firefighter. I mean,
Oh,
he
maybe
was,
that's
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah,
the one of the senior most residents the, in our area.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the Nichols house that they took down. Remember those days? We were waiting for the Nichols house to come down
Yeah, Nicholson.
and
Oh, yeah.
the shed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember? All that stuff.
No,
Yeah,
these are cool pictures. Really cool pictures.
yeah, they are. And this is the inside of the gatehouse, what it looks like on the inside. That's the gatehouse.
Oh, you
Yes.
can see the rocks there and it kind of like goes on both sides.
Yeah, that's where you can kind of see it's not just gonna go right. And
Wow, we must have got a
that's
lot of rain in 1898, whatever it was.
Mhm.
yeah.
Went over
And
the
here's another
spillway.
picture where the water goes. You see how it's kind of it curves around, even though
Yeah.
the image we were looking at looked like it was fake.
Yep.
That's how
It's
it can get
directed to
around.
the Stony Brook.
And that's Stony Brook. Yeah, yeah. And this is this is how wide the open channel I think used to be.
Hmm.
Yeah, see how wide?
Hmm.
Although
What
this
is-
says Sawins Mill Pond. I don't know where that is.
Hey, that's where our bench is.
Is that this is the spillway place,
Yep. Right to
right?
the left there is where we have the
Yeah,
bench.
yeah. And there's
And
Middle
that's
Road.
what, Middle Road?
Yep. Yeah, the swans live on the other side of this.
Mhm.
And this is how
Yeah.
they used to install utility poles. This is called horsepower. And then here they're making,
Oh, there's the Burnett house in the back of it.
yeah, that's the little
Right.
chapel area,
Oh,
right?
imagine all that was grass right up on the left other side of the
That's
aqueduct
where we
there.
have our trail right now
I
with the
know.
history signage looking at the Burnett house.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I really, we have a great opportunity here and I'm looking forward to, but I think where it's going to get kind of tricky is settling on how little to put on the signs, how to make it impactful, but, streamlined.
Mm.
Where is this? Could this be off of Ward Road?
Not ringing a bell, but
Well, where that little bridge is next to the waterway. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the end of that. Okay, so we've made some good leads, and I sent in. So Melanie is working on the bid. I talked to her. I think I mentioned last week. And I met with the rec commission last night to give them just a quick overview and update where we were. And Carla from accounting reached out just to make sure we were on track and to get an update for that. And so I think that's it. Really the work that needs to be done now is just kind of putting together the storyboard of what the signs are going to look like, what language is going to be on
right.
it.
Right. Yeah, if you forward all that stuff, I'll go through it and put my, what I think should be added, and we can all do
Yeah.
the same thing.
So yeah, and I think you're right. Like I'll take a stab, and I think the way to do it is like the short sign versions here, and then we'll have it goes to the longer version here, right? So if our web page, and again, keeping our web page pretty succinct, like we might have to have some introductory paragraphs to describe, and this is where you can learn more information. We talk a little bit about the information, and then we link it to whatever source we need to go to. And so that way we're not trying to develop all this material and it's become a much bigger project than we want. And we can also as needed, update our website. So if, if we had to divide and conquer, we start with a smaller scale web page, we develop it over time. I don't want this to go drag on, but it can be a work in progress that we choose in phase 1, 2, and 3 to kind of build it out a little bit more so that we can progress at a clip that makes sense for execution. Makes sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So any questions or thoughts?
No, we just have to do our homework.
Yeah, this is the hard part, is really putting pen to paper and making it happen. So yeah. All right. So you're gonna go away for a while? Are you coming back?
Yeah, I won't be back until late Tuesday night, early Wednesday. I mean, sorry, late Monday, early Tuesday.
Okay. So I'll try to get something out before the weekend. And then what makes sense? I think we can't collaborate external and on email. We have to wait until we get together to talk. But I think if I send out a document, a Word that people can edit, you can put comments in it and just send it back.
Just don't reply all, just as long
Yeah,
as you don't
send
reply
it
all.
directly to me.
Yep.
So we would have multiple documents, that's fine, we'll just merge them. And then can we look at a time to meet
Yep.
the week of the 20th?
Uh,
What?
I don't know if I'm going the 20th to the 23rd or the 22nd to the 24th. I'm supposed to go upstate New York, Rochester, Buffalo, so that week. My schedule is up in the air right now, but I don't know the exact days.
Okay, so if we were to schedule the 23rd and you had an opportunity to, because I think,
Oh, if I can join, I will join. It just
yeah, but what I'm thinking is, even if we can have like a draft final, but it's not a final.
yeah.
Right? So if you submitted comments based on what's out there, then your feedback is incorporated. Then we as a committee, even if it's without one person, kind of makes a final decision. We'll still have another iteration so that it won't be final until everyone weighs in. Will that work for you if we try that?
That works perfectly.
Yeah, I'm
And like I said,
sensitive to the timing. We want to give the production, it's going to take a little time, and we need this to get printed, shipped, and we have to install before the 30th of December.
Now, do we want to concentrate on one of the signs or all of the signs?
All of them. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to move at that kind of clip. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fair.
And I'm gonna try to keep it pretty simple because I tend to think too much. And if we keep it really simple, the signs need to stay pretty basic. You don't want them too word heavy. And that's where I think we'll have success, is if we can really keep our signs focused succinctly. And then any additional things we want to elaborate on can go in the back end. And we have some time for that to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Sati, how is the 23rd for you?
Looks okay so far.
Okay, so far, yeah. And we have to have, if you're going to be out, we have to have Will say yes to this as well. So I'll ask Will if he's available and he can get back to us on that. So we'll aim for the 23rd of
Are we gonna do the same time, 7:30?
7:30. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it in my calendar,
Okay.
save the trails.
Great. All
I
right.
should know by next week. I have to make reservations.
Okay.
So I'll
That's
know.
good. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll be in touch. All right. Have a good week. Have a good trip.
Thank you. And before we go,
Oh, we need to adjourn.
yeah, we have to do that. But before we do, I'm on my work laptop, so I just want to access my Southborough email. I gotta do it on my phone. So you sent one document.
I just send what Michael sent me. So
All right.
I'll put everything together in one email.
All right. So then okay, that's what I was gonna ask. And then you're gonna send the stuff that we were just looking at the pictures.
Yes, I can send that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. That might be a great way to get people to determine what pictures we want to use. So does someone want to make a motion to adjourn at 8:19?
So moved.
I second it.
Great. All in favor, Satyendra Sharma,
Yes.
Will Warren.
Really,
Sorry.
Captain?
Sorry, Tom McCoolier.
Yes.
Cat McKee, yes. Okay, great. Thank you all. Have a good night.
All right, bye.